Whoa, whoa, hold on a minute, Ike. Are you perhaps doing a het manga? What are you, a fucking normie? On a different note, I actually haven't done any normal, I guess you can say, or just hetero manga since 2017 of August. The one about the vending machine and the lolicon debacle doesn't really count because they're not mangas. So yeah, it was all the way back in 2017, and that was for a manga called Kiss Him, Not Me. Anyways, hey guys, it's Ike, and welcome back to another edition of Bad Ramblings, the series where I ramble on badly. Today's topic, or topics, is on two manga. The first one is called Yancha Gal no Anjo-san, or in English, The Mischievous Gal Anjo-san. The second one is the ever so memeable Please Don't Bully Me Nagatoro. I do have a gripe with the second manga, and that's going to be my main focus on this video. But before we really get started, just wanted to plug in my channel's website at ikarat.com. You should totally come and check it out. I feel a little bit more homey over there because I'm a better writer than I am a speaker. If you enjoy my stuff, remember to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't. Now that we have all of that out of the way, a little bit of a backstory. I do remember Please Don't Bully Me Nagatoro for a while now because it's just been a fucking anime, but I never really found myself interested enough to read it. I went on my anime list and I saw the description of it just saying like this girl who's a freshman in her high school and she's bullying her senpai, but he doesn't really mind it as much because he's in love with her. I read that summary and I was like, okay, that sounds okay. And there was also that other fucking anime that has the same premise, except are they in middle school? Or don't remember the anime of that one, but yeah, they both have similar things, so I often see them together as a meme. I recently found out about the Mischievous Gal Anjo-san. Honestly, the art just made me want to read it immediately, and when I started to read it, I realized that it does have the same premise again. It's just this fucking femdom that is happening right now, and dudes are just eating it all up. They just really like getting fucking teased by a woman, preferably hot, of course. I don't have a problem with Anjo-san. In fact, I'd recommend you to read it. One of the things that I really like in this manga is its first-person shots. The fact that you follow Seto, which is this serious kid, you know, he's serious about school, and then you've got this girl who's a gal, and she's over here like essentially seducing him, and he's trying to not get seduced because, you know, school and shit. I don't get why Anjo calls Seto Senpai. She's in the same class as him, so she has to be in the same grade. Is she just saying that because he's a fucking nerd, essentially? He's like always on his book and doing homework, so maybe he's a little bit smarter than the rest of the class, so that makes him a little bit superior in terms of intelligence, except in chapter 1, it was just him like, fuck, I don't know how to do this. How do I do this fucking math problem? So, I don't know. Honestly, I can talk about Anjo-san for the next 10 minutes, but I'm gonna keep that to myself because we have the second one, which I said I have a gripe with. Hey guys, I just wanted to say that after I recorded this video, Anjo-san has been getting a good amount of updates. By that I mean it got like 3 updates within like a day. Yeah, 2 to 3 updates within a day, and it's been pretty fucking good, especially chapter 6 and chapter 7. Chapter 6, we get to know a little bit more about Anjo. We get to know about her aspiration, what she wants to do after high school, and I always like that because it just adds more character. It feels like there is a future to them instead of just them being stuck in high school forever. So we got that. We learned a little bit more about Anjo-san. I feel like, you know, I feel like I've fallen in love. In chapter 7, we focus a lot more on Seto, and I really like that too because that's giving Seto character so he could actually be his own character instead of just this dude who
almost kind of feels like a blank slate, especially with how the way Anjo-san, the manga, is it's made, and how it's within the first perspective. Whenever Anjo-san kind of does something sexy, it switches over to first person. It just feels like you're supposed to be there, and that's why it's in first person. So I like that in chapter 7 we get to know more about his internal conflict, and we're also getting a fucking conflict to which that girl in chapter 7 looks oddly different from everybody else. So I hope, please to God, I hope that she doesn't get involved with this party. I hope she's just there to be like, you're a fuck, you're the dude who groped me, didn't you? And then, you know, the misunderstanding gets solved or some shit, and then it goes away. Like, I hope she doesn't stick around, but if she does stick around, I hope she doesn't get in the fucking way. I swear, if she becomes a third-party threat, I don't know, fam.
So, let's move on over to Please Don't Bully Me, Nagatoro. I completely obliterated that comma. So after I caught up with Anjo-san, I was still in the mood for these type of manga. And so I remembered Nagatoro, and I was like, alright, it has the same premise, and I've been seeing a lot of fucking memes about it, so it must mean at some point people, you know, to some aspect, people like it. So I go into the manga with the small little blurb in mind, and I felt like I went on the wrong fucking ride, because chapter 1 to 2 isn't really teasing, because, again, teasing and femdom is something that is on the meme popularity chart right now. It wasn't really teasing, it was just straight up bullying, especially in the first chapter when he first meets Nagatoro. He just came in to fucking study, and his fucking bag fell and all his manga shit came out, and these 4 girls see it and they started making fun of him, and he's over here sitting and like enduring all this because he's like, alright, you know, like, don't fucking freak out, don't do anything, like, they'll just fucking leave, you know, they'll take it out on you and then they'll leave. But Nagatoro doesn't fucking leave. She instead continues it to a point where he starts crying. And honestly, like, if somebody starts crying, that's when, you know, you should stop. But she doesn't stop. Instead, she does something which is even more shameful and embarrassing by getting out her handkerchief and wiping his tears for him. That is... wow. If they were already a thing, like she was the dominant role and he's the submissive guy, if that was already established as a thing, I wouldn't have mind if, you know, she had went up and did that to him, because in the alternative parallel universe, if they already had established that relationship, that to me would have just been like, oh, she's taking care of him. That's recovery time. But it's not. They've literally just met, and she has already made him cry. And then we get into chapter 2, where, you know, he gives back her handkerchief, and then she comes into his personal space, which is his art room, and essentially made him cry again for the second time. And he's over here feeling shameful. He's already feeling that way when he was in bed. He was having like nightmares of her. But anyway, she did the same thing again, and I thought to myself, why is this a fucking meme? I don't know about this one, Chief. But when chapter 3 hits, it feels like the mangaka started to notice Nagatoro's personality, that or the comments from the readers, you know, maybe something like that. In chapter 3, her personality got wound back. Man, fucking grammar, dog. But yeah, her personality kind of got pulled down a notch. She's not as aggressive as she was in chapter 1 and 2. Because in chapter 3, you kind of see her like, oh, you know, when she pushed him too hard, she's like, oh, I'm sorry about that. That kind of thing. It doesn't help with the fact that in chapter 3, we do have a backstory for Senpai, because they don't really give him a name. and also chapter 3 is when he finally asks her for her name. But anyways, yeah, in chapter 3, he's talking about how he's been bullied before. When he gets bullied, he would just ignore them because, you know, it really depends on your type of bully. But if you do ignore them, you don't give them your fucking time, then eventually they're like, alright, this person's not gonna fight back or whatever, they'll leave you alone, or they'll just use you as a meal because you're not fucking fighting back. You know, apparently it's been been his tactic with all the other bullies. Yeah, he's just talking about how he don't like bullies, and he's getting he's been bullied. But somehow, it's a little bit different with Nagatoro, and he finally got himself to ask for her name, to which it's Nagatoro. And towards the end, he was going to introduce himself, but she said, I don't care about your name. You're fine as Senpai. And then at chapter 4, it feels like the mangaka is like, let me just dial Senpai's love for Nagatoro just a little bit more, so it'll be a little bit more noticeable. Here's Nagatoro just teasing him about the manga that he's reading, and then they of course, they fell on top of each other. Classic, except it's been turned the other way, and here's Nagatoro just having her hand, like, full of fucking dick. And after that scenario, Senpai goes home to masturbate. Let me dial that. Oh, fuck! But after chapter 4, or chapter 3, it just goes to regular teasing, you know, it's kind of like an okay amount of teasing I'm fine with, that's alright, it's not like borderline bullying. But then chapter 11 comes in, and we get introduced to the friends. Oh, I also forgot to mention about that other fucking chapter where Senpai sees Nagatoro with other people, and she acts like, I don't want to say she acts like a bitch, but she's meaner, I suppose. She acts like a delinquent, I guess. Well, with that out of the way, back to chapter 11, and how it introduces the friend, and it starts to go back to borderline bullying, because even though Nagatoro has gone off to just teasing, and like just plain teasing, her friends are straight up bullying him. And she, as like being a part of the friend group, she kind of plays along with them, but she also doesn't like it when they like touch him, or to the point when that redhead girl, or brunette, I don't know, whatever, that girl says like, oh, he's not even a pet, he's not even this, he's more like an insect because he's not even a man. And that's when Nagatoro got mad at her, and I don't know about you, Nagatoro, but your friend, they're pretty fucking shitty. And also, what happened to those girls in, like, the first chapter? Who are they? Maybe, just maybe, Nagatoro's group of friends like to tease each other. So when Nagatoro invited him over to their table for lunch, you know, they immediately started teasing him, saying like, is that your boyfriend? Or, well, they're teasing her. You know, is that your boyfriend? And she's playing along. And then they started pointing their attention towards him. They also see that it pisses Nagatoro off when they're trying to touch him, or they're going too far to their teasing. So then they're over here like, hey, we should pick on him because it ruffles her jimmies. If I made a new friend, but my current group of friends don't like them, and they end up teasing them, or causing them, making them feel distress because it stirs a reaction out of you. Or me, I guess, since I'm talking about a first point of view. Either I cut connection with said group of friends, or I cut connection with the newly made friend. Especially in this situation where Senpai, he just wants to be left alone, and these girls are causing him distress. I know I roast my friends and all, but if I see my other friends being aggressive towards somebody else, I'd rather be the fucking parent and just get both of them out of each other's way instead of like letting them fight each other like it's a fucking toddler's MMA arena. To repeat, introducing the friends brings back that bullying that was from chapter 1 and 2. I feel like those two friends kinda got toned down just a bit, but consider what happened in the latest chapter. I don't know. I know he can't say no to her, but to go to the beach with her friends? I don't know. Also, speaking of the beach, and other than the teasing and the fandom shit, I kinda get why people like this, because it is kind of a cute romance if you just completely toss everything else out of the window. It is kinda cute, I like it, and then with the beach episode, and how Senpai is like, we're not boyfriend and girlfriends, and she got genuinely mad at that statement. I don't know why she got mad at that. There's a lot of I don't knows in this video, but I don't know why she got fucking mad at that. You didn't ask him out on a date or anything. Your hints, if you are giving any hints, are not going anywhere. So there's that. Why are you fucking mad? The fact that she's mad and I saw that face on her, it just reminded me of that couple from Virgin's Empire. God, I love those two. They're so fucking good. Their relationship, again, with the whole like dominant and the submissive relationship of those two girls in Virgin's Empire. Oh, those two are so fucking good. I love the fucking teasing in with those couple in Virgin's Empire. Also, just like Anjo-san, I can talk about them for 10 fucking minutes, but let's stop there. That scene at the beach with Nagatoro just stepping on him like that, very nice. But then her friends got in the way, and then it just ruined the scene for me. Finally, in the latest chapter, Senpai decides to go to the festival by himself in hopes that maybe he'll encounter Nagatoro because he's too much of a fucking pussy to ask her. Instead of finding her, he finds her friends. And we go to Nagatoro, who just got out of club activities, and she sees that her friend had sent a picture of him in a fucking leash. They sent that picture because, again, it's to cause a reaction out of Nagatoro, because they know that he is her button, and they're going to fucking push it. And is that a healthy friendship? I personally don't think so. I hope Nagatoro and her friendship with those two girls, but I feel like she's not, and it might continue, or the two friends somehow have like a change of heart and they don't straight up bully him anymore. Honestly though, the fact that they brought a dog collar and a leash and put it on him at the festival, again, if it was an established relationship of who's the dominant one and who's the submissive one, and they're both, consenting to that role, totally okay with it. But the problem is, it's not. They've never made that relationship, and that's just straight up shame play and it's just fucking embarrassing. So overall, Nagatoro is quite the manga. I get why people like it, but at the same time, all of the other elements that's within this manga just makes me feel uneasy. It just means I should just go back to Anjo-san, because, you know what? Anjo-san's a little bit nicer, her teasing is pretty good. I very much enjoy her teasing. So, I'm gonna... if you need me, I'm gonna flock back to Anjo-san. Please, save me. I don't want to be near Nagatoro ever again. Or at least until they update her with a new chapter. Then I guess I'll go back to Nagatoro. But then afterwards, I just go back to Anjo-san because, ooh, Nagatoro is too fucking mean. Hey, congratulations on making it this far. You should reward yourself with some Yuri manga, which you can buy in the description down below. Also, I've got my social media. Check me out on my Twitter, my Instagram. Also got my Discord as well if you want to come up and fucking talk to me or something. I don't know. I do have a Patreon where for $1, you can buy out my friendship. I'm selling myself cheap, guys. Other than that, thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next video.